How to learn to manage your time, remove laziness, and create the most productive graph of the day for yourself. Hello everyone, you are on Progress. Today we will tell you 15 methods of effective time management. Before that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and click on the bell not to miss the following videos. If you're constantly swamped with work and household chores, maybe you should rethink the approach to planning. Time management is a science. We tell you how time management works and how to manage your time. What is time management? The more we manage to do, the better the quality of our work and life in general. And with the digital transformation and the acceleration of change, time management helps keep the focus on goals, stay on course. Principles of time management. Almost all existing time management techniques have three components: prioritization, planning, and structuring. Prioritization. To accomplish a task, you need to determine how urgent, complex, and important it is, and only then begin to perform it. Planning. To accomplish a task, you need to figure out when it should be done and how long it will take. Structuring. To complete a task, you need to understand how to monitor its progress and results. Most time management techniques rely on structuring and prioritization, and only a small part is a complex combination of all three principles. We're going to go through 15 of the best time management techniques, from simple techniques to sophisticated control systems. 1. Preparation from the evening. Prepping from the evening will suit those who have difficulty getting up early in the morning. Advice from psychologist Nick Wignall. Write down work and personal tasks for tomorrow at the end of the day, so you will understand your workload in advance and distribute tasks without morning rush. You can prepare in the evening a plan of tasks, work clothes, or lunch with you if you work outside the house. 2. At least 10 minutes. The method helps to cope with procrastination, postponing tasks until later, even if these are important or urgent matters. If you do not want to do anything, try to start at least a few minutes per problem, 5 or 10. According to Julia Muller, a professor at the University of Leipzig, a man has the right to change his mind and it increases his sense of control. He ceases to think that he is being forced to do something that he absolutely does not want to do, so further work is easier. 3. Deadlines. Set clear deadlines for completion. Deadlines. Clear deadlines stimulate work faster and help cope with procrastination. Researchers at MIT have found that even self-imposed deadlines help move things from a dead end. At the same time, such terms work worse than external deadlines, which put the head or the competition commission. In personal matters, the external curator may be a friend, colleague, or relative. 4. Eating a frog. Business coach Brian Tracy proposes to eat the frog every morning to do the most difficult and unpleasant task of the very first. In the morning, the brain is less loaded with information, so it will be easier for you to deal with the difficult case. After such a task, all the others will seem trivial and will remain strong. 5. Small tasks. This is the complete opposite of the previous method. Do small tasks 1 to 2 minutes first, if possible at the same moment. For example, check mail and hardware, send queries, or distribute tasks. This rule is taken from the Getting Things Done method of business coach David Allen. 6. Autofocus. The autofocus method is suitable for people who often work with tasks without deadlines. The two preceding principles make it obligatory to choose a case, and this sense of duty is repugnant. The author of the method, Mark Forster, believes that you should first write all the cases in a single list, and then slowly read it until you want to stop on one task. The scope of the task does not matter, the desire to do it right now is more important. If you manage to finish the job today, cross it out. Failed, move to the end of the list, and read it again. 7. Do it tomorrow. Author of the book Do It Tomorrow Mark Forster recommends not to take urgent tasks at once, but to postpone them for tomorrow. To do this, you need to keep closed lists of cases. It is impossible to add a new task to the closed list, but you can be listed the next day. This approach helps to keep focus on current affairs and to do only your work. Forster separates his real work from employment. This work helps to advance in business or profession. Here you fully apply your skills and knowledge. Often leave the comfort zone, do something you have not done before. It's really hard to work, and it can cause a little resistance. Employment occurs when you put off real work for small tasks. Activity is not the same as action. If the work causes a feeling of overload, but does not seem difficult, it is likely employment. Real work can be difficult, but does not make you feel squirrel in the wheel. 8. Dividing the great task. This technique is also called eating salami or elephant in pieces. A global task can scare the volume. In order to start it, you should decompose the big task into small steps. Decompose. For example, launching a new project sounds loud and brings responsibility. But when concrete steps appear in it, it becomes easier to start researching audiences, to talk to Mike about the items of analysis, to study the results, to prepare a layout on the results of the study. The task grows concretely and no longer seems an impossible mission. 9. One task at a time. Multitasking does not work in intellectual work. In 2009, researchers from Stanford University conducted an experiment. They found that when a person does several intellectual things at the same time, such as reading and talking on the phone, it is worse to remember the content of a conversation and what is read. It cannot determine which information was important and which could be omitted. If a person is working on only one case at a time, he is better at the task and remembers information well. 10. Fixed time methods. This includes working methods on a timer. If you make a habit of working on a timer, you will know the price of your time, work more productively, learn to manage expectations, train willpower and prevent burnout. Pomodoro technique. Tomato method is system 25 minutes. Francesco Cirillo. Tomato is called the 30-minute period, 25 minutes for work and 5 minutes for rest. You work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, then go back to work. Every 4 reps, 30 minutes break. By the way, the timer is called tomato because Francesco Cirillo initially used a small kitchen timer in the form of tomato. Tony Schwartz's method of 90 on 30 and the method of 52 on 17, which appeared as a result of research of the Muse service, are built on a similar principle. The first is the time in minutes to be allotted for work, the second is the time for break. It can be said that this is a modification of the deadlines, but they severely limit the time to work. The abundance of short breaks helps to unload the brain, change activities and distraction. If you want to try the methods in practice, remember that they are equally important, not only the intervals of work, but also the intervals of rest. For methods to work, it is important to rest and return to the task at the set time. 11. Principle of the 9 cases. This method is based on a hierarchy of tasks. According to the principle, during the day you need to close 1 large task, 3 smaller tasks and 5 smaller ones. Cases such as preparing to meet with future customers, and easier tasks such as buying pet food. So household chores do not disappear from view and are included in the calculation of their own workload. A variation of this method is the 3-case principle of Chris Bailey. This method will help those who are easily immersed in the routine and do not pay due attention to their long-term goals. According to Bailey, you have to complete 3 cases a day that bring you closer to a global goal. For example, an hour a day do grammar exercises in English or form a scholarship application if your global goal is to study abroad. 12. Kanban. Kanban is a method of organizing the work to distribute the burden among people and to do the work on time. The method helps to see the increasing pace of work and do not forget anything. Along with Scrum, Kanban is one of the key methods of the Agile control system, which also needs to be implemented wisely in order not to achieve the opposite result. The classic Kanban is a table with 3 columns to do, in work and done. But there may be more columns, for example, by the number of steps in your project or production, and their names may also be changed at the discretion of the company. All cases by default are recorded in the first column in a separate row or on a separate sticker, card. Then they move from one to the other until they hit the last column. Thanks to such drag, you can easily track the progress of the individual and the whole team. 13. Timekeeping. The economist and author of books on time management Gleb Arkangelsky believes that the basis of planning is understanding where time is spent efficiently and where not well. Arkangelsky suggests planning in 3 stages. Fix. For several weeks, every 1 or 2 hours, record the completed tasks and the time it took to accomplish them. Cases for 2 or 3 minutes can be lowered. The goal of the stage, fixation, external observation. Find important. After these weeks, mark in the same notebook when time was spent usefully, when it was possible to make the task faster, and when time was wasted. Plan. Adjust the schedule and process based on your statistics. 14. Eisenhower Matrix. The business and prioritization system that U.S. President 34 Dwight Eisenhower devised in the mid-20th century. All current and future cases are grouped into 4 matrix categories according to their urgency and importance. It is difficult to use the matrix constantly, but you can periodically return to it if you are overwhelmed with work and household chores. Here is how to use it. It is important and urgent to do. These are tasks with deadlines. For example, complete the project for the client, send a draft article, answer important emails, pick up children from school. Failure to do so is fraught with unpleasant consequences. Important and non-urgent to plan. These are cases without deadlines that are needed for your growth. Like going to the gym, learning a foreign language, going to a network session. You have to plan these things before you lose them, unimportant and urgent to delegate. A routine that does not require specific skills. Like posting blog posts, cooking food, sending out emails to colleagues, putting clothes in laundry. These tasks should be carefully and justifiably delegated to their staff or colleagues in order to free up their time for important and urgent matters. Unimportant and non-urgent remove. These are activities that do not bring benefits to the work and do not help to achieve the goal. Like flipping tape on social media, playing video games, watching TV. These things take up a lot of time, so you have to control them or not at all. 15. Time management on chronotype. The method is suitable for those who want to make an ideal routine for themselves. Medical candidate and clinical psychologist Michael Breus believes that there are 4 chronotypes. Each of them has its ideal time for awakening, peak productivity, and sleep bears. They are comfortable to wake up from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Peak productivity falls between 11 a.m. and 18 a.m., and go to sleep should be within 23 hours. Lions can wake up without an alarm from 5:30 to 10 a.m., the most productive from 10 to 17, go to the side they better before 22:30. Wolves very hard to get up in the morning, their time from 7:30 to 12 hours, work effectively until 20 hours and go to bed easily at 00:00. Dolphins people with restless sleep mode, so even if they get up from 6 to 10, they can easily fall asleep back. To sleep by midnight, they need to remove any screens 2 hours before sleep. Peak their activity from 10 to 18 hours. By executing all types of items and listening to them, you will be able to manage your own time. You will lose the feeling that you have wasted a day. I hope we were able to help you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and turn on the bell not to miss the following useful videos. All in good spirits. Bye.